The plan is to be able to create new sector capitals from within pre-existing sectors and to be able to nudge systems between them. Those words are straight from Daniel Motorgard, the game director of Stellaris, when I reached out to him after the previous recordings about the sector issue we discussed at the end of the last video. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris Ancient Relics in our Legacy of the Forerunners series. So yeah, I reached out to Daniel about that, and he offered that response. The plan is to be able to create new sector capitals from within pre-existing sectors and to be able to judge systems between them, as I hit my spacebar while gesturing with my hands in ways that you can't see while requoting that. But that's the situation. So it's pretty much exactly what I expected it to be. And I do think that they mentioned, as I believe that I mentioned at the end of the last video, that the sector rework is kind of an ongoing thing for the next couple of patches. So it makes perfect sense that he would respond with, well, yes, it's not quite where we want it to be yet, but we're still moving along the way. So what it seems like is that eventually I will be able to say, okay, I want this to be a sector capital, and then kind of move sectors between them. How that is different specifically from the original system that we all remember, which allowed much more fluid kind of establishment of sectors, is not clear. But I would imagine it has something to do with balancing between that old system and the new system. So the old system being complete control, and the new system being control of sector placement and sector designation based on distance from certain stars and sector capital planets. Sector capital planets being the big new addition of this current system. So how exactly that balance is going to be worked out, we don't quite know yet, but it's nice to have gotten an answer about that. And so, yes, I lied a little bit. I said at the end of the last episode I was going to record a little bit more that day. After what happened at the end of that one, I was like, you know what, let me just reach out to Daniel and see what he says. And after that response, I kind of took some time to digest it, and now I'm recording a few days later. So here we are, and well, for you guys it's not a few days later, but for me it's been a couple of days. So let's go ahead and jump back in. We are still working on locking down a lot of space, to be honest, and we don't have a lot of influence, with which to do it. So gonna do my best to maybe trigger, if I can get lucky and find some influence generating events. If we could just maybe meet some other empires, that would help too. But we don't have too much farther before I've kind of locked down all the territory that I want, and then we will be set. Let's go ahead and close the planet's outliner. Tentromota appears to have some unemployment problems, but that looks like it's already on the way to being fixed with that new agriculture district, which is sorely needed given the food situation there. All right, the Intham station is ready for a new upgrade. Let's see what we can do here. I think this was going to be my listening post, yes? Yes, you are going to be a listening post so that I can keep an eye on what's going on through this territory. I don't know, it's kind of interesting because I could have had a listening post here, but that would be 2 jumps away from any, at a minimum of 2 jumps away from any systems of consequence, and it's almost the same here. So we'll have to keep messing around with where we have our listening posts, but I do want one there, regardless. And Takarlith is done with that particular project. It doesn't look like she had any other orders queued up, and I don't want to leave her hanging. So let's see what has been queued up and what hasn't. Okay, so you are doing the deep sea expedition. It doesn't appear that there's anyone getting this anomaly, so let's send Takarlith to get that one, because she's not far away from that at all. I'm amazed she's still alive. She's done so many great things for the Oranathi Technoclave, so it's fantastic to see her still kicking. And we definitely still want to explore with her to the best of our ability. I just want to look around for any additional anomalies, and of course I can use my list too. But at this point I've gotten to a point. No, keep that off. But yeah, I don't see any more over here. There could be some on this side of things, but none that I've discovered. So I'll give her the auto explore order, and she's just going to keep going as long as she can stand it, and we'll see how that treats us. All right, so we have that ship in Mothelum and Aphelion. See, I would like to go ahead and just expand. Let's see, where are you guys? You're here. You're going down to get that project in the Sol system, actually. So I think I'm going to bring this construction ship down from Zerk. and go ahead and add the Eolum system to our territory. And that's actually kind of good. We're going to go up to speed 3.
Station sustaining damage.
I know, that bastard is still... Oh, before anything happens. Okay, it's in the middle of the upgrade. Crap. Hopefully it will not actually replace any systems until it's done. Let's look at the shipyard here. I'm so glad I remembered that. Otherwise we would have been screwed. Or I would have started the recording over, let's be honest. Because that's a mistake of titanic proportions. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that upgrade. Okay. Now with that being done, let's have a look at our friend the Grand Herald here. Tachyon sensors, inspiring presence, dark matter thrusters, advanced combat computer, jump drive, and a dark matter reactor. And it looks like all top level. Yeah. Okay, so nothing has been replaced on the Grand Herald. Man, this thing is impressive. So what we're going to have to do... Let's see, what was the button to take you out of the fleet? Was it just to select you? Yeah, upgrade canceled. I'm well aware. Believe me, I'm well aware. I think if I just do that, there we go. All right, so it's technically saying that the Grand Herald is now part of Task Force Eudora. So let's just call it Herald, or no, not even Task Force Herald, because it's one ship. You know what? I actually don't like Herald because it sounds like the name Herald, as in Harold. So we're gonna go with Grand Herald. There we go. And now it looks like I can assign an admiral to the Grand Herald, so we'll do that. I'm so glad I caught that, and thank you to those of you who warned me about that bug. Because, as you can see, it almost had its way with me there. Let's see. Sublight speed. We would have lost all of that awesome tech. I kind of like the extra sensor range. Yeah, let's go ahead and recruit this admiral. Sukradig Den Harak is now leading the Grand Herald. And why don't you just follow Task Force Campus around, please and thanks. Now, we still have lots of... wow, holy crap. Yeah, let's go ahead and give the order to reinforce the fleet. We've generated a lot of alloys. I think part of that was that the Grand Herald had saved up a good bit to upgrade itself. So canceling that gave us a pretty decent refund, which I will not complain about in the slightest. Another way we can gain influence is by making these guys happier. This is our largest faction. Okay, so we need robotic pops if we want to mess with that at all. We need solid liquidity, energy-wise, to get more influence from these guys. Restricting our policies to defensive wars only will please the National Prosperity Board, so we can make them happy in that way. And then we could go for a non-aggression pact, which evidently... Okay, so yeah, let's go for a defensive wars only, and then see if we can get solid liquidity back soon-ish. Let's see, policies. Is there a hotkey for policies, or is it down here? I can't remember. I think there is a hotkey. Yeah, it's F6. All right, so Liberation Wars. Let's say defensive wars. This is, again, purely as a means of increasing our monthly influence by making our factions happy. Okay, and now let's see what else we can do to generate more of that, because we have one heck of an energy deficit right now. I think part of our energy deficit is due to... Yeah, let's go ahead and cue that upgrade. Due to these guys not being... Yeah, here's what I need to do. Alright, so we've set that. You need to enter orbit. So do you. You need to enter orbit as well, and that will help with upkeep, I imagine.
Research concluded.
Ooh, didn't help that much. Okay. Canyon is deep enough to be seen from orbit, furrow the surface of Fomalhaut 7, yet the planet is as dry as a dust bowl. What could have happened to the water that once so profoundly carved Fomalhaut 7's stone? Research. Could be a terraforming candidate. Doesn't appear to be, but hey. Let's look into that. And we just finished advanced research complexes. Very good news. We'll maintain our research advantage that way. Survey speed plus 33%. Yeah, let's do it. That's a rare tech, and we need to take advantage of that.
Special project concluded.
Science Officer Jargrim Dematoris has returned from the expedition that studied the rich biosphere in the seas beneath the ice mantle of Foe-2. Several large species native to the lower regions of the global sea have been found to produce a unique inorganic molecule with immense healing properties. If this molecule is successfully harvested in large enough quantities, it could revolutionize the field of medical science and may even have industrial applications. So, we have a living metal deposit on Foe-2. That's right here. That will be in our territory eventually. And we have the option for living metal.
Construction project concluded.
All right, let's pause for a moment because we also have a very important project going. Let's see how far along we are. Oh, we're close. 4 months away from the secrets of the First League. I might have just learned what the name of this episode is. Seismic disturbances. Oh, no. There have been many reports of unexplainable seismic disturbances on Turdaga. Tremors can be felt across the planet, and many of our settlements have suffered damage. While investigating the earthquakes, our scientists discovered a vast network of subterranean caverns. The deepest of these caverns are home to some kind of indigenous civilization, and they appear to be tunneling towards the surface. Ground vibrations from our settlements may have triggered this behavior, but we cannot be certain. There is no telling how these aliens will react when they spill out of their tunnels and encounter our colonists. We have to deal with this situation. So we've got a special project. We can either establish communications, or we can do a preemptive strike. So we are pacifist. I think role-playing wise, we have to try and establish communications. Not normally what I would do, but it's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and research that. It's going to take a little while to get done, but that's okay. All right, so those upgrades are slowly happening. Also, we'll be ready to build cruisers soon, so I'll be able to design those before long.
Concluded.
Metamorphic dehydration. Following a thorough investigation of Fomalhaut 7, the ISS Ponderanian crew has confirmed that the planet used to be covered in flowing water several billion years ago. However, the geochemical composition of the planet's basalt crust proved highly hydrophilic, so much so that Fomalhaut 7's thirsty rocks eventually absorbed and bound all of the water on its surface. Now, all that remains of these vast oceans are salty brine streaks lining Fomalhaut 7's numerous canyons. Science Officer Durham and Vagors adds that the mineral hydrates now dominating Fomalhaut 7's landscape could have many valuable industrial applications. All right, so that's a mineral-rich system. Very good. We did get some more influence per month as a result of making that other faction happy, so that's good. I don't know if it was a result of that. It might have just nudged us. Yeah, that's what it did. It nudged us above the 3.0 mark, so it looks like we got more. We probably didn't get too much more. Still, I'll take anything I can get at this point. 3 per month is better than 2.
System survey concluded.
And just as a point of clarity for people who aren't as familiar with Stellaris, that number is definitely rounded to the nearest solid digit, okay? So it might say +2, but the reality is that you're actually getting close to 0.3 or something like that. I don't know if it rounds up or down or if it rounds from 0.5 or 0.45. I don't know. But always double check by looking at the tooltip to see what exactly your influence gain is, because sometimes it can be almost a full digit off of what it actually is, and that's worth being aware of if you're newer to Stellaris.
Special project concluded.
Here we go. Secrets of the First League. We have successfully managed to integrate the First League artifacts into our research process. Their insights into industrial research will greatly aid our own. So, research option gained, anti-gravity engineering, and tech progress gained 50%. Secrets of the First League modifier added, giving the following effects: research speed industry plus 15%, planet build speed plus 10%. Interesting. One of our probes burrowed through the ground and intercepted the tunneling aliens on Turdaga. After the startled alien workers calmed down, the probe was successful in establishing communications with their leaders. Open a channel. Is this thing on? Can you see us, surfacers? We understand you hail from the great nothing that lies upwards beyond the stone. It was assumed nothing living could exist there, but evidently this is not so. What are your intentions? Tell us about yourselves. Our empire stretches across every pocket of the known world. Only the great nothing lies beyond our reach. We have many fine cities supported by lichen farms and the fish we catch in the large rivers flowing through our tunnels. This has been our way for thousands of years. Our diggers heard the faint echoes of your cities through the stone, and we decided to investigate. We would like to coexist in peace. Subterranean civilization modifier added, giving the following effects: society research from jobs 10%, and subterranean contact zone to Surdaga. Cool. So that was added as a result of the new planetary system in the previous expansion. Then so we shall, Surfacer. Let us share this world together in the spirit of peace. We would be most interested in trading with your people. I believe we have much to offer one another. We shall return to our cities and make the arrangements. I don't know why my brain went to Black Adder there for a bit, but when it said we shall return, I'm like, we shall return enthusiastically. Anyway, That was completely random. But let's take a look at Turdaga really quickly. So, subterranean civilization. And we have a couple of rare planetary features. We have the dark matter deposit, sure. We have teeming farming caverns, teeming mining sites, teeming generator areas. Okay, so we can't actually access these because they're inhabited by that civilization. But we have the subterranean contact zone, which gives us additional generator districts, additional districts in general, and subterranean liaison officers. Okay, so for every 20 pops, we get another subterranean liaison. That's an interesting job. Let's have a look. Yeah, no one has that job yet because Turdaga has literally just been founded. Okay. How many other colony ships do I have out about right now? None? Kuhnbar 3 hasn't been colonized yet, but it needs to be. I know we're having an energy shortage, and I need to not be too overzealous right now, but I just feel like we need to take the most advantage, as much advantage as we can, really. I forgot that we got limited regeneration. That's pretty handy. This is going to be... not Lapra. Yeah, Oldara is fine to me. So we're going to have that colony going, and we are going to have to keep a close eye on our energy. But again, totally fine by me. Let's actually sell 5,000 minerals just to get some of our energy back. We can also sell... that gives us solid liquidity back. Just selling some of these resources, not all. There we go. If we can keep it above 5, that will help with our influence generation. Let's see how much that changes. There we go. Changes by about 0.1, if you were watching that monthly gain number there. There's a significant amount of debris in orbit around this gas giant. Most of it appears to come from long-lost starships of various configurations. Research. All right, we lost terraforming gases. Let's bring that back. Okay. I just need to remember not to hit the upgrade button on our good friend, the Grand Herald, because that thing is so powerful. Beautifully powerful, even. And we need to just let it do its thing. And I need to also keep reinforcing Task Force Campus as often as possible. That is going to affect our energy income, especially once we get cruisers going, but that's a risk I am willing to take. More than willing, really. Aha! Okay, so speaking of energy income, now we get to open up a new tree, tree of the traditions. New traditions tree, yeah, that thing. And work towards another ascension perk, our 4th. So we can go with domination, which is going to help us govern more effectively. We can go with prosperity, which will make the economy more productive. That really seems like the best one to go for given our current situation. Mining station output increased by 10% just by adopting it. And then diplomacy, of course, makes diplomatic influence just greater. Harmony helps everyone get along faster, and also food consumption will be reduced. So this will help us economically as well. When in a defensive war with another empire, ship build speed is increased by 33%, and the ship fire rate is increased by 15% for ships within your borders. So defensively speaking, that's a really good idea, but I don't think the Lozavata stellar hegemony is going to attack me anytime soon. I think now that I have the Grand Herald, they're like, how about we don't? Oh, actually, their fleet power is equivalent compared to ours, but their tech level is still pathetic, so they would die. They would die horribly. But, I really do want to take out the shard, though. That reminds me, when I mentioned a few episodes back that I was going to attack the shard with the Grand Herald, I didn't mean that I was literally going to attack it in the next episode, people. I'm not that dumb. I know that we need, in order to attack the average Leviathan of this strength, you really want to have a fleet, and this is around what people were saying in the comments, but this has been known ever since Leviathan's a thing, which is a long time ago. It was the first story pack for Stellaris. You really need a fleet that's at least 30 to 40k if you want to have a shot. So we are a ways off from being able to take on the Grand Dragon, the shard there in the Nostia system. I just remembered that. That was fun. All right, so tell you what, let's go ahead and go for prosperity. Mining station output increased by 10%. I think that's the way to go because that will improve our economy more directly. Aha, the cube. Among the husks of the derelict starships orbiting Bashpat 7, we have discovered an almost intact alien research vessel. The ship's logs reveal that it suffered a critical hardware malfunction and was stuck in limbo for 142 days before the crew perished from malnutrition. The body of the captain was found on his cot, clutching a small metal cube, each side a different color, and split into 9 equal rotatable squares, so it's Rubik's Cube. Science Officer Durham Vitoris is convinced that when rotated in the correct pattern, the cube will open to reveal a hidden treasure. Okay. Issue special project. The cube.
Situation log updated.
Rotate those squares, officer. That's hilarious. I thought we already had the rubricator earlier, and that was this thing. I thought that was supposed to be a Rubik's Cube reference. All right, powered exoskeleton, so that's going to improve minerals from jobs and army damage. And we're finally having engineering research coming again now that we're done with that project. I don't think we need that just yet. City district housing +1. Ooh, yeah, let's go ahead and get that project done, just to provide additional housing, and that'll help planets grow more quickly. Housing works in Stellaris very similarly to housing in Civ 6. So the more housing you have over your current population, the more growth. It's not literally this way, but in general, you know, not strictly, but broadly speaking and abstractly speaking, you can just have a much higher amount of housing, or try to, than your current population, and that will encourage the population to grow more. Slice and dice. The crew on the ISS Subterranean has subjected the metal cube to every code-breaking algorithm known to us, and it has responded with nothing but silence. Is it a cipher? A container for valuable items? If there's no meaning behind this cube, then what is the meaning of anything? Were some of the thoughts that scurried behind the overworked mind of Science Officer Durham Vitoris when he finally brought out the laser and sliced first the cube, then his right hand in half. The cube was empty. Wow. Okay. So Durham Vitoris is now maniacal, which is hilarious to me. So he now has a 5% research speed boost as a result of slicing off his right hand. Good job, buddy. That worked correctly, and by correctly I mean not. Our science officer has found an anomaly. It will require extensive probing. Leave B for now. We'll assign someone else to that eventually. Now, Argonera is our new relic world, and we have a lot to do here. This is part of the reason that we had less energy to begin with. So let's go ahead and queue that up. And also, because we now need some form of production. Looks like we can't do an agriculture district. We'll eventually be able to do generator districts, but we can't. Here we go. So we can do the ancient reactor pits. Ugh. Okay, hang on. Now we gotta sell. Get back down where we need to be. Or to get back up where we need to be, I should say. Okay. There's that.
Construction project concluded.
The doorway, what can only be described as a dimensional portal, has been discovered on a remote location on Idramor. Weather prediction, so this is one of our new colonies. Algorithms noticed a strange air current, which was eventually determined to be caused by the slight leakage of atmosphere into the portal. The rate of loss is far too small for it to make any difference to life on Idramor, but the very existence of this portal raises some disturbing questions, such as where does it lead to? And could something come through the portal from the other side?
Situation log
Intriguing.
updated.
So this is Idramor, and we need a science ship nearby to do that. Oh, no, we don't. We just need to research it. We are still headed to the automated shipyard to repair it. Okay, so where's that construction ship, though? Oh, they're literally right there. Okay, so that's not going to take too long.
System survey concluded. Anomaly found.
Interior imaging of Athena 5 suggests massive underground caverns wait below the planet's surface. They may be worth... Oh, wait. Investigation. Where is Athena? Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and research that, please. Right near the border of the Huviduzan conglomerate. Are we still on good terms with them? Yes, we are indeed. Okay. So we need to get these projects finished up. The ruined arcologies, we need to get all this cleared before we can build a generator district on Argonera, but that's what we're going to build because we need the energy. Does seem as though our energy situation is getting a little better.
System survey concluded.
Silent shout. We have discovered the fossilized remains of a gargantuan gastropod, matching no previously encountered life form trapped within a huge block of ice circling B9Y2K. Its eyes glare fiercely ahead, tentacles reared and muzzle twisted into a gruesome grimace as if locked in a silent shout. The creature displays no apparent signs of sapience. Despite its eerie visage, our scientists believe that if domesticated, the creature could make a valuable asset. They recommend extracting some of its DNA for cloning. So we could space this abomination and get some influence. And that is technically what I was asking for. We could say it belongs in a museum, or we can clone it, and we can get a special project, the Ice Alien. I feel like what our empire would do, we are the Technoclave, is we would clone it.
Situation log
So now we
updated.
have that special project, and we're going to research that. It's going to finish in 3 months. But you know what else is going to finish in a lot faster than 3 months? This episode. We're going to stop this one here. And in the next one, we are, I know I could have used that influence to expand a little faster, but once we just have a little bit more to go on in terms of getting through this territory, which maybe we can get as we continue to have opportunities to impress our factions. Extended peace will kick in at some point, but what we really need to do is have robots. Maybe we can build robots at some point, and that'll help out. Which reminds me, it's on a somewhat related note, we do have a trait point remaining. So in the next episode, I'm probably going to remove one of these negative traits from the Oranathi. I'll have to decide which one as we kick off the next episode. But for now, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. And by the way, if you enjoyed hearing from just that whole exchange that I had with Daniel at the beginning of this message, don't forget, every time you have the opportunity, if you're a Paradox Forum user, if you are a Twitter user, just send him a shout out and thank him for the game and for all the work that the team does. It's always good to give the developer some props for the work that they do and these games that we love. And it was really cool of him to respond and give a little bit of feedback. And of course, Paradox has always been great with that. They have one of the best communities in terms of support from the developers and conversation between developers and players that you could really ask for as a gamer. So I just like to give back every now and then. And when I get a response from someone, it's good to just throw the bone right back and say, hey, send them some love too, because they say that for all of us YouTubers all the time. So again, thanks for watching. Comments always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.